Alright, so you read the title of the video. What do I mean by, can you beat Resident Evil 3 Nemesis without walking? Well, if you didn't know, when you aim a weapon in these early tank control Resident Evil games, you actually move forward a little. And if you were to repeat this motion enough, theoretically you can beat the game going from this beginning screen of Jill exploring outside of her apartment to here at the end, where you use the railgun to defeat Nemesis and escape with Carlos via helicopter. Now, I originally got the idea to do this challenge run by watching this video that was recommended to me by this occasional speedrun and challenge run enthusiast called Punchy here on YouTube. And he himself actually got the idea to do this challenge run, well, more of a challenge crawl, from this random Japanese YouTube video that asks if you can beat Resident Evil 2 without walking, which originally came from this monthly Japanese gaming publication called Famitsu Wave DVD. Essentially, the video is a highlighted recap of a Japanese player who tried to do Resident Evil 2 with his aim walk, to which then Punchy here replicated the run to see if it's actually possible to beat Resident Evil 2. Made his video, and then 2 to 3 years later, here I am to do the same for Resident Evil 3, because I have nothing better to do. But that's the general gist. I recommend you go watch this video after this one if you're interested. As to why I'm doing Resident Evil 3 instead of any other Resident Evil that has tank controls, well, it's simply because I already have the PC version of Resident Evil 3 already installed on my computer. Now, I myself, I do quite enjoy Resident Evil 3. I played it many times, and I thought that perhaps maybe the challenge of having to deal with Nemesis would have made this run more interesting. But my god, do I honestly kind of mostly regret playing this game. Well, to recount to you my list of troubles, Resident Evil 3 Nemesis actually starts off like this. Now, I select hard mode and immediately get thrusted out here, and all I have in my inventory are 15 bullets in my handgun and the reloading tool. Nothing else, and I can walk. Now, one thing I want to know about this version of Resident Evil 3 is that it permanently has auto aim turned on. There's nothing in the settings that I can do to get rid of it, so once I spend most of my bullets killing these 3 zombies, I'm actually stuck forever having to aim my gun to these couple of zombies in the back. But there is technically a built-in solution to this problem. Now, Resident Evil 3 in Nemesis introduces this new mechanic called dodging. Now, this feature allows you, the player, to make these movements such as sidestepping, rolling around enemies, or even quickly shoving them and propelling yourself forward. And theoretically, I could have kept shoving the zombie forward enough to reach the dumpster over here, and get up and continue to the inside of the warehouse, where I can play the rest of the game. However, all that's theoretical. There's plenty of things that can go wrong here, such as accidentally killing the zombie as I try to do a dodge, causing a reset. The zombie could also, for whatever reason, decide to go around me, causing me to do another reason, or, you know, maybe failing to do the dodges properly and dying. And also, you're probably wondering, hey, isn't doing these dodges going against the rules of the run? Well, what exactly are the rules of the run? Let me establish them. Essentially, it is this. 1, I cannot press up or down for movement because that will make me walk. 2, I am however allowed to turn in place and use the up or down for aiming. 3, force movement such as pushing an item for puzzles or to continue the game is okay. 4, being moved around by enemies or explosions or anything that isn't up or down on the D-pad is okay. And 5, dodging is allowed due to the fact that it's a built-in mechanic that activates based on the precise timing of an enemy's attack on the player. This isn't like those more modern Resident Evil games where you have a dedicated button to dodge. This is a reactive dodging that can even happen accidentally during regular gameplay. And besides, without dodging, I will be stuck here having to face these zombies in the back with no bullets. However, dodging in this game is kinda hard, or at least for me, and after many minutes of trying in hard mode, I decided to go into easy mode. Because easy mode gets you this, a fully loaded assault rifle that lets me kill all the zombies in the area, and in turn allows me to move forward towards the dumpster and continue to the rest of the game. You're probably also asking yourself, hey, why are you playing in easy instead of hard? Or, well, actually, it's more of normal mode than hard, but there's only the 2 options. But still, why am I playing on easy? Why don't I try to, you know, keep practicing with the dodging until I make it to the dumpster? Well, it's simply because I don't even know if it's even possible to beat the game going past this point, you know? And I don't want to spend here almost 30 minutes to an hour or more trying to get to the dumpster, only to later on in the game maybe get stuck and not able to continue. Like, there's more game out there, man. We can't just focus here in the beginning. We gotta try to continue. But anyways, now that we're inside, we finished talking to Dario, who locks himself up, and the reality and weight of my actions finally hit me. Okay, so now we get to make our way to the fucking top of the stairs. Holy shit, this is a fucking big waste of time. You know, it's one thing when you're watching a fucking YouTube video about it. It's another when you're doing it yourself. What am I getting out of this? I'm just fucking laughing at myself. Like this really is the whole thing, you know? I don't have a chat to talk in the meantime. I'm just in my fucking room doing this. This dumb shit for free. Alright, I guess I can rotate here. There's not even any music here. Like it's just me, the fucking fans on my computer. I don't even know if this is even worth it, cause like this just makes me think about my life and my choices. Kind of like I'm falling. It's like when I'm trying to fall asleep and I can't because, you know, the thoughts about my life and my mortality keep me up awake at night. Things like that. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, man. I don't know. I think something very well went wrong in my life. When I was very young, and now I'm here. You know, I think I'd rather play something else. You know, it's so fucking quiet. I'm just here with myself. I don't know. I'm already considering quitting here. It's taken me almost 30 fucking minutes just to not even be out of the first section of the game, man. Like, fuck. There's so many things I could be doing with my life. There's not even music, man. There's nothing here. Like a fucking cripple can beat jail, you know? A fucking cripple, an amputee could easily pass by Jill at this point. A fucking snail, maybe, probably not. Holy shit! Can you imagine being a fucking snail? Fuck. Do you think this is what like having dementia feels like, by any chance? I don't know. I really do want to just give up here. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here. You know, this is the type of shit that when I die, God will look at me and ask me what the fuck's wrong with me. Like, yeah, there's like murderers, but why the fuck did you do this? And I'm gonna have to answer that question, and I don't think I want to. Now, I know that in that timer it says it's been 33 minutes. However, I've been recording and trying to get to this room for 50 minutes, and I decided to end my first recording session right here. Now, just so you know, my second, third, and fourth recording sessions were actually streamed by me on this very YouTube channel, but I kept having audio issues with my microphone, and I had to download my many hour-long footages from YouTube. So the following that you'll see will be a much lower quality and have maybe some issues with the audio. I do apologize. However, after my fourth streaming session, everything else is perfectly fine, normal audio, normal video quality. So just bear with me for a bit. But anyways, after heading to the item box, I unequipped the assault rifle and took with me a handgun and shotgun that the game gives you in easy mode. And then I notched my way towards the key hanging on the wall and make my way out. However, as I was going downstairs, I saw a first aid spray and decided to go around to take it and explore around a bit to see if I could find some ammo. There wasn't any, so now I finally make my way outside of the building. You know, I kept going until I reached this part right here, where Brad busts out of this storage room cellar, where I have to stand my ground and defeat all these zombies so I can get the lighter fluid and also a second shotgun. Now, since I have the auto aim turned on, I am actively forced to stand my ground and shoot down every single enemy on screen until I'm able to freely move around and continue into the direction I want. So essentially, besides a no walking challenge, this is also a kill everything on screen challenge. And also, you're probably wondering, why would I get a second shotgun if I already have one on me? Well, because it's free bullets, and also easy mode gets me 2 extra item slots that normally I will get it in the train station, so why not? I then proceed to slowly but surely make my way towards a major street while also hearing zombies viciously devour a man for several minutes on repeat. Voice. After killing him and slowly walking towards this door over here, the guy who was getting eaten actually got up and became a zombie, which I myself never knew happens if you take too long in this area. Honestly, the one good thing about this challenge run is that it forced me to think about the area I'm in and discover new things and extra details that in a normal playthrough I, or an average player, would never think about because we're, basically running through. Like take for example, why the fuck does Raccoon City have so many of these dungeon-like medieval doors around town? Or this city hall sign that has the word office off-centered and kind of like stuck in the chain link for not just this screen, but also this other screen right here. Or the fact that there's a lot of no smoking signs around town. And also there's sometimes like really weird graffiti on the walls. And I recently discovered myself, despite playing this game for many years, many times over, I never knew that if you unlock this door and continue down the street, you actually get this cutscene of a woman survivor dealing with zombies. And if you try to chase her, you can never really catch up with her, and as soon as she leaves the area, you hear her scream and find her dead. And I just thought it was pretty cool and thought to share it because as someone who never bothers taking this route until maybe somewhere around the mid-game to collect extra stuff, it was a welcome surprise. But alright. Sorry about the tangent. Here's Brad killing a zombie. After the conversation between him and Jill, we slowly make our way towards the lighter and grab the bullets on the cash register, then leave. And then I make my way towards the alley with the safe room. I successfully dodge the dogs like nothing and make my second save practically 2 hours in and continue to slowly make my way towards the police station. Anyways, here's Nemesis. Bye, Nemesis. Here's the thing about fighting Nemesis in this run. It's not worth it. He doesn't give you anything if you kill him, because we're playing on easy mode, and that's honestly a huge hassle fighting the guy while standing in place tanking all his hits. And also, I don't know how much ammo I'm gonna need in this run, so I better just try to save as much as I can. So every single time the game gave me a chance not to deal with Nemesis, I took it. But hey, after 2 hours, we're finally inside the police station. Yay! And thankfully the police station is short, especially if you look up what the code for the evidence locker room is, which allows you to bypass getting Jill's ID from the classroom, or even Brad's ID, which makes me ask, why didn't Jill have her ID on her on all times? It's not like she was being chased by the Nemesis out of her apartment in this version. Maybe that's why Brad's the poster boy and she's not. Anyways, with the code we get the Star's room key so that we can get her lockpick set, which allows us to continue further into the city, but not before getting the grenade launcher from the locker and an emergency transmission from Carlos. I also found this file in Wesker's desk in the meantime. And slowly I make my way towards the stairs, where I'm forced to deal with my first non-skippable Nemesis fight. Thankfully I had the foresight to grab that free Magnum the game's easy mode gave me, alongside with the grenade launcher that I grabbed 3 eternities ago, and eventually I'm able to defeat Nemesis with minimal damage done to me and my resources. 19 real world minutes later and I'm through that lockpick door, and I accidentally take a step back in this corner. Holy shit, we changed screens. Oh my god, I didn't mean to move. It was just... I tried to like rotate and I misclicked. God, whatever, man. Now I'm gonna tell you straight up, I do accidentally misclick going forwards or backwards. Not a lot, but sometimes. I'm only human. But oh well. Onwards we continue to the alleyways until we reach this open area before the parking garage. We hear a man yelling his final breath as dogs give him kisses with their sharp teeth. Sad. And 1/6 of an hour later, I arrived at the safe room. Now, as you can see on the timer, it says that I've been playing for 3 hours and 28 minutes. I want you to guess how long it takes me to get to the train where Nikolai and Mikhail are at. Just guess. Is it 30 minutes? 40 minutes? Maybe even 50? 2 hours. It took me 2 fucking hours. And that was mainly my fault. You see, I fucked up, you see. I have this game somewhat memorized, but not completely, of course. I also did no research to properly create a route that will create the least amount of backtracking for me, and also help me skip segments of the game. Case in point, I thought I was being clever here, you see. Because there are 2 branching looping options I can do in this part of the game, so that I can gain access to the City Hall section where the train is located. There's the newspaper office and the restaurant. Depending on which one you go first, you'll meet Carlos and find the key item to continue on the other one. And I, for whatever reason, got the idea in my head that because the newspaper office was further away, I will create less backtracking by going there first. It did not. You see, it took me about 27 minutes to go from this room all the way to the newspaper office to meet Carlos. However, depending on where you meet Carlos, you also have to get reacquainted with Nemesis soon after. And after being given a live selection choice to either jump out the window or hide, and considering my options, such as jumping out means leaving the building and skipping the fight with Nemesis entirely, however, by hiding, he'll actually get knocked out by an explosion. I chose to hide, because I thought by doing so, he will go away for some reason. I just had that idea in my head for whatever reason. And to be honest, I rarely ever go to the newspaper office first, so my memory of each choice isn't the clearest in my mind. And because I rarely ever go here first, that means I always find the key item, the green gem here. And I thought that by hiding from Nemesis, he will go away and I will have more time to slowly look around for that gem. You know, instead of the smart option of running away. That's my mistake. And so I hit, and Nemesis goes wham, and then quickly gets up and I have to fight him. Thankfully, with the added firepower of Carlos, he went down quickly, allowing me to slowly explore and find nothing useful in the room because of my actions. And now I have to slowly make my way out of the building, and also very slowly make my way back to the kitchen by backtracking so that I can later backtrack to the city hall door to open it. And so a whole lot of unnecessary backtracking that I caused for myself happened, and even more so because once I arrive at the kitchen, I need to open this locker to open the basement door, you see. However, I forgot to grab the lockpick to open it, and well, this happened. Oh my god! I need the lockpick! Ah! Okay. Alright. Fuck it. I'm resetting the game. I'm not walking back, man. Holy shit. Oh my god. How much time did this set me back? Like 15 minutes? Wait a minute. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I just realized because by looking at the fucking... I just realized by seeing that I have the red green herbs. Oh my god, I put myself before the Carlos interaction. Okay. You see, when I was coming back from the newspaper room, I went into the safe room and grabbed some stuff. And I also thought that I saved the game. I didn't. And because of that, the last 40 minutes of progress I made were gone. By the way, did you know that 40 minutes of me crawling around in this game equate to one world record run? I'm not even joking. So in this second attempt of mine, I decided to instead just head towards the restaurant, starting that Carlos and Nemesis cutscene after opening the basement. However, unlike in the newspaper office, I'm actually forced to fight Nemesis here because the alternative is to basically drown in a slow, agonizing death in the basement. Follow me! So I chuck a lamp at him, cause a gas explosion, and keep on fighting him once he gets back up. And with that, now I have to make my way towards the newspaper office again. Yay! 20 minutes later, I grab the green gem, and on my way back, I noticed something. You know, these lamps are fully 3D rendered for some reason. Huh. You know, I just realized something. Why are those things rendered? Those things right here. Why are they like 3D? Can I shoot at them? Can I interact with them? I don't know. What the? I can interact with them. I'm pressing 5 and 5 interacts with objects. 8 automatically objects. Oh wow! I didn't know that was a thing. I mean, I don't know what I can do with that, but it's cool. I thought at first maybe they can help you kill some zombies, but not really. They just kind of explode. And when you go through this area of mercenaries, they're actually gone for some reason. And 20 minutes later, I finally make it inside the train and say hi to Mikhail and get the wrench, which lets me open 2 new locations where I can find some necessary equipment to fix the train. And now, on my way back near the entrance to the city hall, this door that leads to the mayor's statue finally busts open, allowing me to kill these zombies and get the bronze book so I can take it all the way over here, so I can grab this compass, so I can make it all the way back here and put it in the compass, so the statue can rotate 180 degrees, allow me to grab this battery, which would, you know, normally be in plain view of me walking towards the statue, just saying. Because, you know, personally, instead of doing all this whole ordeal and adding 30 minutes to this run, I would have just stepped on the grass and grabbed it from back there. But, you know, that requires logic in a Resident Evil game, and there's no such thing as logic in the Resident Evil game's puzzle. And you know what? Now that I'm forcing myself to play the game like this, I noticed that this section where I'm getting parts of the train, having to backtrack, is essentially busy work so that developers make less game. Also, would you like to know how long it took me to collect all these parts? Was it 20 minutes? 30, 40, 50, an hour, 2 hours maybe? 5 hours. It took me about 5 fucking hours to get all these parts. Listen, I don't want to spoil for you the other guy's video if you haven't watched it, but it didn't take him 11.5 hours to make it halfway through Resident Evil 2. Now, to be honest, it shouldn't have taken me 5 hours to complete this section, so let me explain to you what happened. Well, once I was done getting the battery, I made my way towards the power plant and defeated some enemies along the way. You know, pretty normal stuff. I did the voltage puzzle, grabbed the fuse, got the live selection screen. I chose to electrify the zombies because if you pick to escape, you end up having to deal with the rocket launcher Nemesis that can snipe you from high above, and I just wasn't going to deal with that. After the selection, I made my way up, headed towards the parking garage, made my way through, and on the way out, grabbed the power cables that I didn't grab earlier. I keep going until I get that fire hose, continue, kill some ball sack spiders, then kill these newly spawned cob spiders, continue to the alleyway safe room, deposit some stuff, and make a save. I use the hose, then continue, see Nikolai, do the password, get in the storage room. However, as I'm getting close, I grab some gunpowder on the way and stop recording because I had some stuff to do. Now, I don't actually have any footage between the time of 7:51 and 8 hours and 20 minutes. Alright, so here's what happened during that 30-minute window. I grabbed the oil, I nudged all the way near the safe room and fought Nemesis, who surprised me because I didn't think he was going to be there. I died, and then I had to repeat the whole sequence out of the safe room again, getting the oil, saying hi to Nikolai, the zombies, all that, fight Nemesis, and then my computer crashed on me and corrupted the whole footage. And so I had to go ahead and keep trying, get the oil, say hi to Nikolai, deal with the zombies, fight Nemesis, and then I died again. Get the oil, deal with Nikolai, the zombies, fight Nemesis, and eventually I became victorious. From then on, it took another hour to go from here to the gas station. You believe this shit, man? Fucking 1996, 1998, gas is 125. Fuck, man. To take the machine oil, the whole place exploded, and afterwards all that was left for me was to continue forward and fight the worm boss near the train. However, this boss fight is not really much of a boss fight, but really a test of agility, because you need to get close enough to these two panels, which are right next to these whack-a-mole holes the worm attacks you from. And knowing all that ahead of time, I made the tactical decision to head straight to the shopping district safe room and make a save, and then head to the train station. And as I got near the door that leads me to the train station, a little earthquake happened, which causes me to fall down. And I am now really glad that I made that save, because look at this shit right here, man. This long asshole with teeth is not letting me grab the fucking panel. And because I'm spamming the aim towards him, I sometimes automatically dodge, pushing me farther away, or alternatively, he hits me and pushes me away. And I keep trying, but I eventually die, forcing me to make my way back in about 15 minutes time. However, in my second encounter, I came prepared. With a few gunpowders I collected, I was able to craft some acid rounds for my grenade launcher, which I found out do heavy damage to the worm, after reading its gameplay in the wiki. However, the wiki here is clearly talking about its boss fight battle in the graveyard later in the game, so my thought process was maybe I can stun it for some time if I shoot at it enough to go in and interact with both panels. Anyway, eventually after much struggle, positioning myself with the rocket launcher and hitting it with the acid rounds and shotgun, it seems that I did enough damage to the worm that it ran away from the boss arena, which is something I never knew you could do because really, who will bother shooting at the worm long enough instead of rushing in and hitting the panel? Either way, thank you Capcom developers for giving it a health bar. Very cool. And with that, I make my way out and put in its place all the train parts and hurry on to the head cabin where Carlos drives the train forward. Sadly, I have to nudge myself all the way towards the second cabin to start the Nemesis encounter, but luckily, I don't have to fight him at all. If I turn around and interact with the door, Mikhail stands up and ends the sequence for me, which eventually starts the next live selection where I choose to jump out of the window because I thought that if I used the brakes, I would have to fight Nemesis right away in the courtyard. But now I'm here in the clock towering around, heading to the chapel, not just to find Jesus, but also a key that allows me to go into the machine room on the roof. But before that, I have to fight the spiders, and oh boy, the spiders, does it suck having to deal with them. You see, spiders are one of the very few enemies in the game that can poison you. Another thing about them is that depending on the weapon you use on them to kill them with, they could just drop their babies onto the world. They're annoying 1 HP dealing babies that I have to individually shoot with much difficulty at. So if I were to get poisoned, which did actually happen, I will slowly get my HP down to 1, and these little shits can actually kill me. Just look at them, dude. They're fucking stun locking me. But luckily, I did manage to defeat all of the spiders and their kids, and even luckily, downstairs there was actually a pot of infinite blue herbs. But now that the real danger was over with, I continued making my way towards the roof. I also learned a few new things about myself, like when I think about small insects or whatever, my body likes to do this fixed stimulation that they're on me, which I felt very much while playing this section, editing this part of the video, and also discovering that the Resident Evil wiki has a page dedicated to Spider-Man. But anywho, I finally made it to the machine room where I have to solve a very difficult music puzzle. Yeah, as it turns out, I got lucky and only had to change one note, which is nice, because last time I played this game, I was here for quite a while. Music is just not my forte. Fixing it netted me the Chronos chain, which I combined with the Wonder key to make the Chronos key, allowing me to make my way towards this door, which is near to where I fell out of the train. However, Nemesis appeared, so I blinded him, pushed him over the edge, and now that that distraction is dealt with, I proceeded to make my way towards this locked room 5 minutes later, and have to deal with another fucking set of baby spiders. Like, dude, where do they even come from? Is it this window? Cause it's too small for them. But luckily, I was able to deal with them, all without getting poisoned this time. I then complete the annoying past, present, future puzzle, and acquired the golden gear. And then I returned to the roof to the clock tower where I can save my game, ring the bell, to which I thought would automatically start the boss fight with Nemesis. Turns out it starts when I cross this door. And then we get the cutscene. Nemesis infects me, and now I stand my ground. Over prepared with my 40 grenade launcher bullets as I spam him as quick as I can to defeat him, which I successfully do on my first try, of course. And now we can begin our playthrough with Carlos. Carlos's main goal here is to make it to the nearby hospital and find a cure for Jill's T-virus infection. I first, however, have to deal with the zombie horde outside the chapel, and discover that Carlos has 2 types of animation for the assault rifle. With automatic, he does this pose where he holds us next to his stomach, and with manual mode, the pose he makes is that he aims with the scope of the gun, which I never knew he does, cause who the fuck uses manual mode? Anywho, I also discovered that not only does the manual mode have a much slower animation, it also covers less distance, so I kept it in automatic. And then I discovered that Carlos' handgun animation is much faster, even faster than Jill's for whatever reason, and covers more ground, so I used that one instead. Although the handgun animation does make Carlos move diagonally instead of pure straight like Jill. Continue onwards and find out the spiders kept breeding, dealt with the infestation without their children trying to hug me to death, and continue onwards to push this huge copper bell aside. Scuttle all the way towards the hospital to say a Russian hello to these insta-kill fucks. I go around this corner of the lobby to pick up these red herbs, and then I notice that this cluck up here is missing its hand. Go inside, save, and then another recording session. And by the way, when I go to continue later, I accidentally put the timer at 24 hours and 44 minutes instead of 13 hours with 36. But no worries, I actually catch the mistake early on myself. Only to, as I'm editing this, realize that instead of continuing from 13 hours with 36 minutes, because I thought I simply put a 2 instead of a 1. So the timer is now 1 hour ahead of what it actually is at. But it's whatever, honestly. Anyways, young black man wrecks mature Russian by blowing his load. I then proceed to nudge myself up ahead to get this sick room key, then work my way towards this door, meet some worms, see where this cabin is placed, read this dead man's note, go next door to do this simple puzzle, and then I complain about the way the hospital is set up. Kind of weird ass hospital. Yeah, so we made like a base vaccine for the T-virus in this place. Just cuz. And we hid it in a patient's fucking locker, and we hid it in a safe inside one of the patient rooms. Just cuz. Also, we put like an automatic portrait thrower or what that is hiding behind. No, you can't remove the portrait by hand. You have to, mirror exactly where a fucking medicine stand is in the room next to it. And also, that bitch is heavy, so you're gonna have to push it, dragging it on the floor and everything to put it on the special slot. So it not only undoes the portrait from the wall, it actually ejects it from the wall. We also put like the rest of that vaccine in the fucking basement. Just cuz, right next to our dangerous BOW, which will actually break out and kill you if you try to make a vaccine for it. Now, if you don't mind, I'm gonna go ahead and be fucking eaten by zombies. Speaking of which, I'm here in the basement. I killed these 2 hunters, do the puzzle, say the Russian hello to these weird frog creatures, make my way towards the first floor where I get ambushed by zombies, save my game, and finally we get to the moment everyone who has played Resident Evil 3 before knew where the run was probably either going to end or not. And that is Carlos's bomb escape from the hospital that has 20 seconds on the clock. Oh, hey. It starts as soon as I walk out. Okay. 20, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11. Yeah, no, there's no fucking way. There's no way. There's no way. Now, if I had a weapon that could push me back, perhaps, but nah, there's no way. There's no fucking way, bro. There's no fucking way. Alright, if it gave me a minute, maybe, but there's no way. There's no way with the 20 seconds it gives me. Now, to be completely honest, when I first started this run, I completely forgot about the bomb and only remember about it halfway through the challenge. But you know, at that point, I already put in a lot of hours into this, and it was like a complete sunk cost fallacy, so I just kept going. But it's alright, because I have a plan. You see, I have tested out and found out that unlike in Resident Evil 2, in Resident Evil 3, our characters don't get pushback from heavy weapons, most likely to reflect the fact that they are well-trained professionals. However, there is in fact one weapon that can move them back with enough potential distance to escape the hospital lobby, and that's the infinite rocket launcher that you can buy from the Mercenaries minigame. And so, I quickly booted it up, picked Mikhail, who is equipped with one, and test to see if there's any pushback from the rocket launcher. No. But is it enough? Is this seriously the only weapon that pushes me back? And it in fact does have pushback. Okay, so now that I have a new goal in mind, I have almost $1,000 saved up in my file, and I need to earn 3,000 more. And so happy to play the game normally, I began my journey to earn as much money as possible as Mikhail. So welcome to the Resident Evil Mercenaries playthrough segment of this video. The Resident Evil Mercenaries playthrough segment. Now, I'm not an expert at mercenaries, but I do know that killing zombies, saving hostages, and making it to the end gets you a lot of money. So that's what I'm going to try to do. I did about 7 runs of mercenaries. They all go pretty bad except for one run where I actually make it to the end. There was one run I did with Nikolai that almost ended properly, but I died in the warehouse before getting to the end point. I also ran out of health a couple of screens earlier because I tried to see if I can get these 2 Nemesis with rocket launchers to kill each other. Eventually, while not always making it to the end of the campaign, I did manage to maximize a way for me to get a fair amount of money. I figured out that if I don't save Officer Marvin at the power plant, I can actually rush in to face this mutated Nemesis who disappears if you take too long to get here. Killing this variant of Nemesis nets you not only 2 extra minutes on the timer, but also $250 for your wallet. The second highest money banks are regular Nemesis enemies who only give you $40 if you kill them. That means that this mutated Nemesis is equivalent to 50 regular zombie kills. It's basically free money as long as you disregard saving the only black character in the entire trilogy. Alright, well that's not true. There was also this guy in Carlos' team who blew up and this other guy from the Stars Bravo team who died. Wait a minute, is Capcom race? Eventually, successful run or not, after an hour and 18 minutes, I was able to accumulate enough money to buy the rocket launcher. And now, it's time for the moment of truth. Oh my god. I could have got him the money if I didn't try to fight them. Oh hey, made enough anyways. It all worked out at the end, who cares? Alright, let's see if I can even do this as Carlos to begin with. I'm not sure if this counts, but I'm just gonna walk to the door. I don't care about doing the whole thing. Because I'm not even sure if it's even possible with the rocket launcher. This is just, I did all that just to, like, you know, test it out. I don't think it's possible. I need to start a new game! Ah! Okay. I need to start a new fucking game! Oh shit, my cup. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh, that's fucking funny, man. Could I potentially? I don't know. I will need to replay the whole game up to this section to find out. Oh, hey, look at that. I need to fucking replay the whole... I need to replay the whole game up to this section, and who knows? Should I do the whole fucking whatever the fuck? Should I the last 15 to 16 fucking hours wasted, more or less. I knew I wasn't gonna get past this, but now, like... Oh my god. I don't care if I'm walking to the door. There's no way for me to exit anyway. Oh, there's 2 bombs. I never noticed that. Really, dude? Oh, wait. Oh. That was in the other wall. The one by Carlos' left shoulder. There's no way. There's no way. There's just no way. I need... Look at how much I need to walk. There's just no way. There's just no way. The run is impossible. It's impossible. So yeah, guys, run's over. GG. Good try on my part. Many hours have been successfully wasted at this point. I also stopped caring and started messing around, looking at alternative item boxes to see if the rocket launcher somehow spawns in. It didn't. And also, I tested out Carlos' fight with Nemesis to see if it was even possible with him. So I'm walking. Oh, look, it's Nemesis. Can I even beat him by standing there? Let's test it out, right? Run's over anyways. Dang, Carlos, you're so good at dodging. Oh shit! Ah! Broken spine! Hey, look at that. What the fuck is going on here? Where are you? What are you doing, man? I can hear you. Are you stuck? You're fucking with me, right? You got stuck? Oh. Yeah, I don't see any blood. Oh yeah, I should probably go back in place and wait for him to get up. Are you gonna get up? Run's over anyways. Are you gonna get up? Alright, so let's say I crawled my way all the way over here. Because usually, you just run away from him, right? No fucking way. Are you seriously... I know I'm playing in easy mode, but it's that easy? I could actually stop... Well, it seems that Nemesis got stuck and died in the corner, so it is possible. However, besides the bomb at the hospital, there's also another thing that could have possibly killed this run, and I went to test out if it was even possible to get past it. And that's if it's even possible to beat this game and kill Nemesis with the railgun. And so, I loaded an older save of mine that's right by the end of the game, load myself up with infinite weapons and multiple health items, and tried more than once to see if gunning down Nemesis to death without the railgun was even possible. And no. It's not possible. After trying very hard to stand my ground and kill him a lot, I looked up online how much health this final version of Nemesis had, and discovered that he in fact can only be killed by the railgun and a cutscene. There's just no other way. But just to be extra sure, I tested out if I could even made it on time to the boss arena. So I went ahead and equipped myself with weapons and a bunch of health that I realistically would have been carrying had I naturally made it to this point of the game. Except that instead of carrying the samurai edge, I gave myself the super handgun. And so I prepared myself and began the timer. Now, the timer for the missile starts as soon as you interact with this ladder, initiating a countdown on the radar that lasts 10 minutes. And so I move onwards with a shotgun equipped. I move close enough to kill this zombie here from a distance. I also get stuck a little bit on this corner and eventually make my way outside. Across this section with the dead BOW and soldiers, and eventually inside, I equip the upgraded handgun with an animation that seems to be about 1.5 to 2 times faster than the regular handgun animation, meaning it can cover more ground than the shotgun. So I make the switch. Finally, after 7 minutes, It took me 7 minutes to make it to the railgun to initiate the sequence, and by the time Nemesis shows up to eat the dead Mr. X Tyrant, it's too late and the whole place blows up. Even if I had started moving around with the upgraded handgun, it would have probably maybe given me an extra minute or two, and it still would have taken me forever to get from here to here and shot Nemesis 3 times successfully with the railgun. There's just no way to beat this game. Even if I had made it here, there's just no way and not enough time at all. But it doesn't matter because you can't even leave the hospital with Carlos.
No way. Not a chance.
But you know what? Fuck it. How about I actually try? So I load up a new save file in Easy again and rush through the entire game as fast as I could so that I can equip the rocket launcher with Carlos in the hospital. You know, I gotta say, at first I didn't want to replay the game at all, but it didn't really take me that long. It's like about an hour and 60 minutes to get back to where I was. I ended up having a little bit of fun, you know? Also, ended up filling up my item box for the first time ever. Never done that before. But you know, and what? Eventually, we got to the hospital. Is it still like, what, 325, I think? 3, 2... Yeah, maybe that one doesn't change. Speedrun strats! Ugh. Oh boy! I'm actually getting a little bit excited. Well then, as I was saying, I'm actually getting a little bit excited about this to see if I'm gonna continue wasting more of my time or not. Oh boy. Oh boy, boys and girls. I'm so excited. All right. Let's see if this is even possible, shall we? Bro, am I moving slower? No way. Ah, oh, man, those turns are the death of me. Yeah, no, there's no way. There's no fucking way. There's no way. There's no way. Okay. Of course! Of course! Of course! Of course! Why would I think I'll make it out? There's no way. There's no way to make it out. There's no way. Alright, let's just practice real quick. Let's do it like a couple more times. Come on. We gotta give it a good, fair try. So we can definitively say, no, it is not possible. I already made it here. I already dedicated an hour and 18 minutes to it. In fact, let's see how far I can get with just the gun. What's my best time with the gun? Shit. Come on, 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 and then rotate. No way, dude. Does it take about the same amount of time? Seems like it. All right, let's keep trying with the rocket launcher. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe we can do it. Maybe if I do like quick turn, you know, we can save a whole second if I do a quick turn. Come on. Spam that shit, Carlos. You can do it, Carlos! Fuck. Oh, no. I'm wasting too much time. Ah, shit, I'm stuck. I'm actually stuck. I mean, it's equally as slow, probably. Maybe even slower, but instead of, like, letting go of the aim button, I could just be like, whew, rotate. And then boom, right? Oops. Damn, look at that lag. Carlos is can lag, but not, but the timer will still go down as normal, I think. Nah, man, there's no way. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way. There's just no way. I am stuck in here. It is impossible. I'm gonna say you definitively cannot beat Resident Evil 3 by not walking. You have to at least walk. Not even run. You have to at least walk to beat this game. Look at that. Look at that. It could take me like 5 seconds to reach this door just by walking. Wow. Oh well, nothing we can do about it. Anyways, thank you very much for watching the video. I hope you had some entertainment out of it. Have yourselves a good day. Bye.